Hello everybody. All right, this is going to be a trick of the trade kind of short video here of ways and things that you can use to build your journaling. Okay, so I've shown many different journals that you can use. The great thing is you can go to the dollar store. I got this from the dollar store. The thing is, their styles change weekly. It just depends on what kind of deal they get cut from the companies that they use. But a steno pad is always a great starter for $1.25, or even if the prices go up to $1.75. They have a good, so I just write my scriptures out, and it's divided, so you can write on one side and the other. You can write here, draw here. This one here, I love the, this one here I got from TJ Maxx. I think it was a pack of 3. It's got a nice sturdy cover. It's got this graph paper. I'm not super fun. I like it, but I don't like it. It's kind of one of those things that I'm trying to really utilize this, but I just haven't found that niche yet. I'm still in favor of a blank canvas or using lines when I need to write something out. You can get journals like this. My favorite is getting the spiral, okay, because these, and you got to be careful, make sure that when you buy it, it's really heavy duty, and see how this is curled under here. That's super important, okay? And these are really nice and thick. Sometimes they're very tinny and flimsy, and which means then the edges will easily come out. They won't stay in place, and then it's just havoc, you know. But I love how they usually have a nice hard cover. I bought this one many years ago, probably 10 years ago or something. It was only $2.99. And they're usually their prices are right there, but I love the fact that it's got the spiral, the hard cover, and blank pages. So I use this just kind of as I want to keep this scripture and maybe use it for later. I can draw on here if I feel like it, put stickers on here. So this is a smaller one. So you can see it's about the size of my hand. This is a great one. You can use these nice little ones here too. These TJ, Marshalls, Ross, they sell these oftentimes in a 2 or 3 pack. It's kind of a leather-esque type cover. I love this front. I like to leave the front open as a dedication or to write things out. This one this is my method. Oftentimes I just will put the artwork down, and then when I feel like writing in it, I'll come back and start writing in it. Sometimes I will just write away, write, and then come back and decorate around my writing. And I kind of have a method of how I want to bullet point my paragraphs or whatever, so you'll find your style. So that's why I say go to the dollar store. They have a great variety, and if you go into a bigger dollar store, they have even more variety to start with. You can even just use printing paper, okay? So so many varieties of ways you can find journals. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, sometimes your local stores, wherever you're shopping, wherever that may be, sometimes we'll have those, especially around the holiday. And I think I'm going to sneeze. You can use just plain print paper. Just plain print paper. You can fold it over and make a little booklet out of it. And if you have, maybe you work at an office where they have those long staplers, and you can staple it in the middle. I'm going to sneeze again. So sorry. You get that included. I don't edit. I have, you can leave things plain. You can draw. Oh, a lot of people don't feel comfortable drawing, so you can go to Etsy and you can find all kinds of great digital pictures. So sorry. I used, what is it called? Design. Sorry. Oh my goodness gracious. Designbundles.com. That is a great place to buy some digitals, or on Etsy. I find that Etsy has better sales. Design Bundles has some freebies, but they used to update a lot. They don't so much anymore, but so these are just some recent ones that I've gotten. Okay, here I go again. Oh, I don't know what this sneezing thing is all about. I'm not allergic to anybody that's watching this. Oh my goodness, I don't know what happened here. Whew. So sorry about that. So anyhow, you can, I can't give you printing information because every printer is different. And I think even by computer, or whether you use the iPhone or iPad and so forth, they're all different. So you're going to have to figure out how to print your items. So if you have one item, so like here, so because I'm a photographer, I have tons of pictures. So these are my pictures right here. And if I had enough requests, I hate putting my work on Etsy because it is easily hacked into. No matter what you do, hackers are out there since COVID especially, and they just have this way to manipulate the system. So I don't know. I'm not comfortable with that, but I don't know. I'm not at that place yet. Maybe if I had enough requests from people that would want to use my photographs for their journaling, I might consider putting some stuff up there. But I took one picture, and with my I use HP, and I use a MacBook Pro, and I pull it up, and then I hit print, and Canon and Epson and HP all have a different setup. I found that the Canon was the most difficult to figure out how to do, but Epson and HP are user-friendly to do this. I can print up to 16 pictures on one page. So let's just say I wanted, this was a set of 6 on my printer page, and that's how big they are. If I wanted 8 or 12, I think it goes 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, and 12, and maybe 16. 16 is the most. And so, of course, the pictures will shrink down. So it just depends on what I want. This picture here, and again, the quality is not the best printing from this. My next printer, I'm going to upgrade, and so I can have some better quality pictures. I've just been using this little one for a while, but I think the next time I upgrade to another printer, it's going to be an inkjet, so I can get more detail. But this particular one has raindrops on it. Hard to see, but in the journaling, I feel that it's more about the writing. You get the picture of it all, but in the idea of it, and again, down the road, economically, that's not my number one priority at the moment. So if you decide, that you're really going to get into the journaling and so forth, and actually I had a really nice HP middle grade, and I had it for years when they made them well. And when it died, that was the time they started cheaping out a lot, about maybe 10 or 11 years ago. I think I had a good 5 years with this HP that I had, and it really printed nice quality. You could see the detail, the colors were vibrant and so forth. And it also depends on the paper you're using. I'm just reusing regular, this is 20-pound paper, because I don't want my journals to be heavy duty, okay? So I could go heavier with 24, 30-pound, 40-pound paper, but I don't want that to bulk my journal itself up, okay? So you could do that, figure that out on your printer, how to do that. You can use your own phone. The smartphones now usually will connect to the printers, but I can't manipulate that on the phone. I don't know how to do that. So you can get digitals if you don't want to draw. If you want to draw, you could go on Pinterest. Now here was a little something from a paper that came in the mail, and I was going to use this for my scratch paper to glue on, and I thought, you know, I kind of like this look, and so I just ripped it out. You see an uneven, sometimes I just like that uneven sloppy on my pages. It just depends on the look I'm going for. These are going to be little booklets here, and then I've got these. So these all came from Etsy, and I would love to design my own, but I don't have time to do it all. You know, I'm only one of me, and it would be wonderful to do my own. I have played with, and I do have some of my own concoctions when I'm looking for something specific. I just don't have the time to do everything. You can use ink pads to color your pages. So if I did this, let's see, let me find a scratch. Let me see here. You know what, here's one of my journals here. I think what I'll do is, let me show you. I like having sometimes just doing the edges, and look how easy that is. And then you gotta let it dry a little bit, you know. So there's that. You know, you can make it pretty and just simple, and just go around the edges. And then, I mean, you don't have to invest a lot. This I got from a lady. Boy, she did I think a Facebook Marketplace thing, and I thought I was only getting like 5 or 6 different colors, you know, pads, and she ended up giving me like $100 worth of ink pads, different colors and stuff. I don't even remember what I paid. It was many years ago. The great thing is these usually last a long time if you buy good quality. Tim Holtz and Colorbox are the best so far that I've ever had. So that's great. So that's another way of just simply making it look nice. Washi tape is a great tool as well. They come in all kinds of colors and shapes and sizes. The downside to washi tape is every brand is different. Most brands are very they're not gluey, they're not real sticky. So if you want something to stick well, I would definitely go to Amazon or Walmart, and your Elmer's school glue works fantastic. And like these three, and they're no name brands. I don't keep the boxes. They're just no names. Used to be when Michael had their craft section and their paper section, before COVID hit and lockdown, they had a good variety. They had some clearance sometimes, but now it's only a few ugly ones. I won't even pay and go in there now because they've taken away almost all of the scrapbook sections and turned it into either yarn, crocheting, jewelry, or Cricut. So the paper goods at Michael's, it sucks now. They downgraded us, and I really don't like that, because when I'm buying my paper goods, I like to see and feel the paper, okay? So I will say Echo Park is a really great brand. Let me see if I can pull that out. Let me show you here. Oh, before I do that, so if you want to use plain paper, whether it's notebook paper or printer paper, you can go to Amazon or Walmart. Those are the two cheapest places, or the dollar store, and get I love these kind of clips. I really need to get more of these. I really like these. Regular paper, little paper clips in different sizes. You can use these little O-rings that open up, and these are great too. And then you can just, these are my favorite because you could just flip it over. You don't have to take this off. Scoop all your notebook paper in there, and then you could just turn it. Okay, so these are really inexpensive. You can get these at the dollar store in a package of like maybe 10 different sizes for the $1.25. And then these clips as well. These are really sturdy and heavy duty. And again, all of these you can get at the dollar store. And if you have a better variety, if you go to one of the larger dollar stores. So that's a really easy peasy way to do the journals with your just plain paper, just notebook paper or printer paper. With the printer paper though, you'd have to put the hole in it. So if you have a paper puncher at work or you have one at home, the trick is to get it all of them in the right size, in the right space. So Echo Park is a let's see, I can't do this with. Okay, so they did this. So I can't do that. So it's Echo Park Paper Company, okay? And you can do a monthly thing, but what I like about them is it's made in America, and oops. You have different sides, and they give you all these goodies to utilize. So it's heavy duty. It's really great quality. It almost feels like watercolor paper. It's nice and thick and cottony. But look at that. So they have double-sided, okay, double-sided paper, and these are mine. These are not part of them. You have these little clipboard accents that you can use, which is fabulous. This is in a kit. You could buy the kit, you could just buy the paper, you could buy just the stickers. This is a sticker page. It just depends. You got to go on the site and look around, and they have sales all the time. I will say they do not ship quickly because they have their own little warehouse, so you got to be patient with them. When they do ship, and again, it goes UPS, or is it the post office? I forget. Either way, it's slow moving. So it'll take you a minimum of a week to get your stuff when you order from them. But it is worth it because the quality is fantastic. So these are all stickers, and I love the fact that when you get enough, you can get it in this beautiful box, and it's a container. Okay, so these are fun little. You cut these out. It's all one sheet. On the back, you've got these, and then on this side, you've got all these cute little sayings and stuff. So you can be super creative, make cards, and again, super good quality. I mean, there's no one that says anything bad about these guys because the quality is just fantastic. They have little ephemera, which is just little decorative things. You can get these small paper pads, again, both-sided. So this is a really nice, really nice when you have both sides like that. And then you've got the little decorative cards like this that you can use as well. So they've got all kinds of good stuff. So this is a great a great tool. I highly recommend this. And again, just be prepared for for at least a week delivery once you pay for it, and get your sales on with it. They always have clearance and sales once you get into the you sign up in the email and so forth. So that is one way. So there's so many ways to create, and you start with simple. Okay, I use my simple tools that I have handy. What else do I recommend? I always talk about my pens and so forth, but there's so many extra things that you can do with the journaling, and that's just a few ways right there that you can decorate. Stickers, again, if you go to Etsy, you can go to Amazon. I don't like getting these from Amazon unless you know the brand, and that is they tend to be cheapy when you get these little rubber ones. This Julie Nutting has been around for a while. She's okay. I like because she's got the girl figures that you can use as a stamp. This one is Global Land silicone clear stamps, and again, they're not big quality, but I love the design. I don't use them a lot, so they'll probably last me till forever. But if you're big on stamping, you might have to replace them. But these tend to be around the $5, $6 range. It is what it is. But if you do these, you've got to make sure that you buy a block. Illustrated Faith is another great one. Really good quality, good ideas. She's got a lot of stuff on YouTube, and I love like the blocks I use to put paint on. And just if I'm just gonna doodle daddle in my journal, I have that handy. I could put a little bit of water on there, a little bit of watercolor or my crayons, and use that real easy. So that is what I've got going on there. Again, you start with any kind of journal, go to the dollar store. If you're just starting out, the dollar store is the best way to go. Cheap, but it's decent quality. Surprisingly enough, decent quality. At least in the Chicagoland area, I have not been disappointed with what is offered. So, again, I don't have any specific designers at Etsy. I just go on there and I look. If you want like animals, or if you want people or sayings or whatever, just put in the search box what you're looking for and just keep searching. I mean, you could play for evening after evening after evening while you're watching a show, and just to get an idea of what's out there. There's so much variety. It is a billion-dollar business with this whole scrapbooking and junk journaling and everything. So it's here. Have fun. You don't have to spend a ton of money. Just start with what you've got. Recycle a lot of things. Recycle old books. You could take old books in your house. If you've got old kid books you want to recycle, you could just go over the pages and take the books at hand and put. So let's just say that we have a book that is a 5x7, and all you have to do is print out your graphics, and I could put this on a page in a book and then put scripture up here, or put words up here, printed words out of. You can take your newspapers that you get in the mail and cut out the words and make your own little sentences. So many ways to do that. Or you can take, I take old newspapers brown paper bags. I cut those down. I can cut this here and use, let me grab, oh, do I have some here or not? Okay, so I could take one of these and, no, that's not what I want. Where are you? Well, I don't have any handy right now, but brown paper bags, okay, like Trader Joe's here, okay? I went to Trader Joe's, they have great bags, and you can cut this down, and it's wrinkled, it's okay, but I can just cut this or rip it, and then I can take this cute girl here, and I'm doing this quick, so I'm not doing this real perfect in line, but I'm just showing you simple, easy ways to do these. And then you could glue this on here. Look how cute that looks. Look how adorable. And this was just from a bag that I got from Trader Joe's. Now, what I could do is, I love this deep, rich red, so I could use this red as a background. Like this could match this girl and her flowers. This is more of a fuchsia, but if that were more red, or even this one is stretching it a little bit. But anyhow, if this had more red in it, I could use that as a background, okay? And then you glue that on here or tape it on here, and then you tape that into your journal. So if I was gonna use this journal here, I could just go and do this, and do this, and I'm just gonna rip this. It doesn't have to be perfect. It just depends on what you want. I don't like how this is curling up on the top, so I'm just going to do that. And then I can glue that right there. Look how cute that is. And then you've got space to write your notes. And you could just sit and create your journals like I do here. You know, I put the little girl in here. I have some old music sheets. I rip those up, color them up. I put a stamp on there with this feather. Here's one of my photographs. I can leave it as simple as I want or as complex as I want. Again, another one of my photographs, and then this is a drawing that I did, and then I just scanned it and printed it. Again, the same thing here, and just have fun. Just have fun with it. That is the wonderful thing about, you can just make what you want. So that's it for now, guys. I hope that's helpful, and I will see you around. Share, like, subscribe. Thanks so much.